I just turned the ROG Ally into a sick gaming laptop with a 3080 in it. I can't be more happier. This is Starfield running at pretty good frame rates on an ROG Ally in a laptop form. This is not a laptop. This is running off of the ROG Ally, which in turn is being powered by an RTX 3080, and it's running Starfield at ultra settings at almost 60 FPS. And ROG also wanted me to remind you guys that while this version of the ROG Ally is the Z1 Extreme version, the Z1 version, which is much more affordable than the Z1 Extreme version, is available now. If you've been meaning to buy an ROG Ally and you don't think you're gonna use up the power that the Z1 version has, buy the ROG Ally that just runs the regular Z1 version. It's available now, and you can find the link in the description. Anyways, let me show you how I did this. But before we continue with the video, let's keep the lights on here in the studio. This video is brought to you by SNK ATK Design Lab. They're a clothing company that specializes in technical fashion, more commonly known as techwear, and you can see me in their clothes in most of my videos. I've been supporting their brand ever since I met them back in 2019, and now they're returning the favor. Head on over to this link, you can find it in the description as well, to get 10% off your order from their site. Check their clothes out. You're bound to see something badass over there that'll look great on you. Thank you very much to SNK ATK for this exclusive promo for my viewers. Now, back to the video. Hi guys, I'm Kevin Evangelista. Welcome to my channel, and yeah, sorry for being MIA for the last 2 weeks. I just had a tooth pulled out and it was a very painful experience. But now I'm back. I can drink coffee now, I can drink through straws now, and I am one tooth lighter. Anyways, so yeah, you read that title right. I have been playing a lot on the ROG Ally. On the morning commute to work, during lunchtime, during break time at work, and on the commute from work going back home. Every free minute that I can take, I have been gaming on the ROG Ally. But recently, I did kind of an experiment. And thanks to a little package that ROG sent over like a week ago, I kind of can turn the ROG Ally into a gaming laptop with a 3080 in it. This all stems from my frustration with Bethesda games and how poorly optimized they are. So if you guys don't know, recently Bethesda released Starfield. It's their epic space RPG, kind of Fallout or Skyrim in space, and I have been playing a lot of it. But the problem is, the game is poorly optimized, like every other Bethesda game that came out, and my devices are not really powerful enough to kind of like brute force the game into running at acceptable frame rates. That, and I have a problem recently with the ROG Ally that I've been capturing a lot of footage for it for my full review. But my dock, or what do you call that, my hub, my USB-C hub kind of like bit the dirt during recording, so I had to buy a new one and wait for it to arrive. So I just asked ROG, Miss Kate, do you have kind of like one of those like charging docks that also have a HDMI out so I can keep capturing footage? Miss Kate said, well, I'm gonna do you one better. So yeah, we're gonna be unboxing that later. Anyway, back to the topic of the video at hand. So why did I kind of try to figure out how to turn the ROG Ally into a laptop? Well, it stems from the problem that I kind of have a few back problems and I don't like lugging around heavy stuff. So on a normal day going to work, I have to carry around a full-size laptop and the ROG Ally and the chargers for both. So I figured there must be like a better way of doing this, because I can technically work on the ROG Ally. It is a Windows gaming handheld. I just have to break it out into something much more like workable, because you know, this is a gaming handheld. It has joysticks for controls. One usual way of kind of tackling that situation, what people do is they break it out to a monitor. They buy a USB-C hub which has an HDMI out or a display port out, then they just connect everything there and they just bring their keyboard and their mouse. The problem with that is, if I wanted to work in a cafe, I can't really do that because I can't bring a monitor to a cafe. But then recently I remembered that I had one of these. So dramatic reveal, I had one of these. If you guys don't remember, I actually have an unboxing video of this up on my channel. This is the UPerfect X14 Pro. It looks like a laptop, but it's not actually a laptop. It is a Lapdock, meaning that while it takes laptop form, there are no computing parts inside of this. This is kind of just like a screen with a keyboard and a trackpad smashed together, and it accepts mini HDMI, USB-C inputs. It's kind of like an external screen. So I figured I can just connect the ROG Ally to here and basically turn it into a laptop. We're going to turn the ROG Ally into a laptop using the UPerfect X14 Pro, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So how this works is, this is an external screen. It's kind of like a wireless cast screen, so you can cast to it wirelessly, but in this situation I am not going to recommend that because there's a lot of latency when you use the screen in wireless mode. We are going to connect this. This is an Oracle BW11 6PR USB-C hub, and I chose this because it has an HDMI out, it has 1 gig Ethernet, it has 3 USB 3.2 Gen 2, and most importantly, it has 100 watts of power delivery. So yeah, the problem when breaking out the ROG Ally into like a USB-C hub, you always have to consider that it has a power delivery option, because the ROG Ally only has one USB-C port. So you have to charge it somehow, or you have to connect it to the wall somehow to get that 30 watt power, which gives you the best frame rate. Yeah, this was pretty cheap, and if you want to buy one for yourself, I will link it down in the video description. Then we're gonna put the ROG Ally here. Then for the UPerfect X14 Pro, I am going to be using a mini HDMI cable to a full-size HDMI cable. Connect it to here. Then we're going to need a mouse. There we go. This now functions like a full laptop. Look at that. Look at that PCAM. One thing I forgot to plug in was the power delivery. So this is the 65 watt charger of the ROG Ally. I just plug it in here. Yeah, as we can see, it is now charging. It's now a gaming laptop. The ROG Ally is now a gaming laptop. Let's just go straight into Starfield. It's not like super surprising that you can do this with the ROG Ally because it is a Windows device. But the usual way of people breaking out the ROG Ally into a screen, into a keyboard, into a mouse, I think this one trumps it a bit in the mobility department. In the performance department, probably not so much, because the UPerfect X14 Pro screen, while it is a pretty okay screen, it is only 1080p 60, so you're not going to be playing any esports titles on this. But you know, as you can see here, if you're looking to like game on a familiar like platform, like a laptop form, you got it. What more do you want? What more do you want? Alright, so as you're seeing right now, I am playing Starfield with a pseudo keyboard and mouse setup using the ROG Ally as kind of like the main device. And as we can see, and this is the problem that I was kind of like hinting at earlier. As you can see here, I don't know if it's very clear on your screen, but as we can see here, we are running the APU at 43 watts on the ROG Ally, and we are getting around 44 FPS. And the surprising thing is this game is running at all low settings. Yeah, maybe even like low motion blur. I mean, look at that. This is kind of like disgusting looking gameplay. But yeah, that's something that I am like super frustrated with. So let's quit this one first, and let's bring out the big guns. I promised you at the title of this video and at the start of this video that I am going to convert the ROG Ally into a gaming laptop with an RTX 3080. And didn't lie, we are going to do that with the help of one secret ingredient. This. This. Yeah, look at that. It is a nondescript black box. But this, inside this box, is the ROG XG Mobile. And if you're not familiar with the ROG XG Mobile, it is an external GPU. Meaning it's a GPU inside of a box that's meant to live outside of your gaming device. Very simple unboxing process. There's two things inside the box. There's a power cable and then there's the XG Mobile. It says here, more than graphics, less to carry. It is running an RTX 3080, and it says here that it's uncompromised graphics performance with the direct PCIe 3.0 X8 link to the CPU. It has an integrated multi-port I/O hub and 280-watt power adapter, and apparently it's of an ultra-portable dimension with light 1 kilogram weight. I can actually attest to that. This is a very light device for what it actually is. So, hardware tour first. This is kind of like the front of the ROG XG Mobile. This is the back. We get kind of like a stand here with some details inside, and bit more like design on the inside. But yeah, this is mostly like a stand, but you can also use it like stood like that or so. It has feet on one side, so it's okay. This is like an exhaust vent because it's supposed to exhaust upwards, and we have a full-size SD card reader. Yay, I love full-size SD card readers. Please put them on everything, Asus ROG. And this is kind of like the business side. So we have a power connector here, we have gigabit Ethernet, we have a display port out, we have an HDMI. I think this is a 2.1. I'm pretty sure this is a 2.1. And we have 4 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it connects to the ROG Ally via this port. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but this is the XG Mobile port. That's why the Ally's port is super big on one side. If you can see here, this side of the port is kind of like a USB-C, and it covers some of the data, but this handles PCIe X8 connection and power. This is going to extend it, basically extend the ports here, give it way much more power an RTX 3080, and power the 65 watts that's required of the ROG Ally. If you guys are ready, I am super ready. So it's time to convert this ROG Ally into a gaming laptop that has an RTX 3080 in it. So what's going to happen is I am just going to remove this entire like Oracle USB-C hub because we don't need that anymore. I'm just going to keep the HDMI cable, the HDMI to mini HDMI cable, and I'm going to keep the dongle for my Logitech G603. Then we're gonna prop up the ROG XG Mobile here at the back. I think I need to connect it to power first, so let me get that sorted. In Starfield low settings, we were getting kind of like 40 FPS on the ROG Ally, and that's on the AMD Z1 Extreme APU. Then connect it. There are some processes that you have to follow to fully initialize the ROG XG Mobile with your ROG Ally, but you know, minor price to pay. Then what we're going to do is just connect this again to our UPerfect X14 Pro. We are in like Flynn again. Man, this is a crazy setup and I love it. I love it so much. This is one thing that you kind of have to like expect when you're using the ROG Ally with the ROG XG Mobile, since the Ally is running the AMD Z1 Extreme, which is an AMD APU, and the XG Mobile is running an RTX 3080. Every time you open up your games, it is going to recompile the shaders. But if you are running the version of the XG Mobile that has the AMD 6850M XT, it's not going to have to do that. It's not going to have to recompile the shaders because it is running similar hardware, just stronger. I'm sorry if I'm not showing like screen record gameplay on this because I feel it's much more important for me to show like the laptop form that I have been enjoying for the last few days. So yeah, from here we're seeing APU wattage. We're currently running at 60 watts at low settings, and yeah, 52. There we go. But if we pump the settings up, let's probably go to ultra. Let's try ultra settings. Then let's customize it a bit. Render resolution scale, the lowest should be 65%. Let's turn the sharpening up to 80. And yeah, this is like maximum settings. Oh look, we are running at 40 FPS. We are running at the original FPS. Actually, we're running a bit smoother than when running low on just the AMD APU. This is pretty sweet. Look at this. Remember, this is just like a 60 Hz screen, so we're not really targeting like 144 FPS. We just want to hit 60 on this display. So yeah, we found a cave. I am not interested in going into a cave right now. As you might be hearing right now, the XG Mobile fans are kind of like starting to ramp up. It is way more noisier than any gaming laptop that you can get. But still, this is a setup that I can take to a cafe and still theoretically enjoy my time there. Oh, look at this. It looks like a smuggler's den or something. Is this a smuggler's den? Secluded encampment. Hello, people. Are there people here? Homesteader. Okay, you guys are friendly. This is just so amazing for me. And look, we're running at a stable like 50 FPS, 49 FPS, and we're running settings way higher than recommended. Because I kind of follow like the recommended settings. I think Digital Foundry was the one that released like, oh, this is the optimized settings if you want quality without sacrificing performance, and setting everything at ultra isn't what they recommend, but we just set everything to ultra and we're running at 48, 49 FPS. We're good. This is pretty damn amazing. This is ROG. Oh my god. So yeah, I just found a way to turn the ROG Ally into an amazing gaming laptop experience. It's not like fully like a gaming laptop, but compared to a gaming laptop, which you can take places, but if you want to play in the car, you probably can't do that. This one, I can just like unplug the XG Mobile and the UPerfect X14 Pro and just play in the car. Play in the Grab or the Uber ride home. You can't really do that with a laptop, can you? I know that this is not the full review of the ROG Ally that you're waiting on from me, but you know, this is something pretty fun to show you while I'm actually currently working on the full review. This is how I'm enjoying the ROG Ally. I feel like someone out there wants to do this as well, but they don't know how to. Well, as I just showed you, this is how it's done. If you want to convert your ROG Ally to a gaming laptop, or just like a regular Windows laptop experience, just get a Lapdock like the UPerfect X14 Pro, and if you've got money to spare, buy an XG Mobile and you're set. It's a pretty modular setup. You can maximize it in any way you want. Also, it goes without saying that this is not kind of like the best setup that you can do with this kind of form factor. Recently, there have been a lot of better lapdocs compared to the UPerfect X14 Pro, which have better screens. I believe there are OLED versions now. This one is an LCD, but there are OLED versions now that run at higher refresh rates and even some at higher resolutions, or even the now standard 16:10 resolution. But yeah, this is proof that this kind of setup actually works and is actually very enjoyable. So yeah, if you want to buy any of the things that I featured on here, you can check out the video description. If you have any questions about the ROG Ally, the XG Mobile, and the UPerfect X14 Pro, just leave them down in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna be playing more and more Starfield, but now at acceptable frame rates at good settings. Bye.